Hi, Grace.
Hi, Obi. How are you?
I'm fine. So this is not Obi. This is Teniola. Obi is
Sorry?
not busy. Actually went on assignment, but I am assistant marketing officer, so I will be conducting today's webinar, if you don't mind.
Your voice is distorted.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me better?
I can hear you better now.
Okay, I said my name is Teniola, and Obi will not be available. He will be a bit late, so I will be conducting today's webinar. I hope you do not mind.
Sure. Nice to meet you, Tanava.
Hi, nice to meet you too. So we'll just give everybody 5 minutes so that people running late can join us and start by 4:06.
Sure, I think that's perfect.
Thank you.
How many are we expecting? How many have signed up?
So we have about 150 people signed up for the event. I'm thinking give or take, we should have about 50 people for now, like right now. But we'll just give them another 5 minutes and let's see what happens. Sometimes people run very late. Very quick.
Sure. We'll give them some time.
Why not we that are active should be attended to?
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I'm so sorry, I should have done that. Welcome to the Centennial College webinar. My name is Teniola. I'm the marketing officer for Refund Education Canada, and I am going to be your host. So the thing is, we do not want to repeat ourselves twice or 3 times. And that's why we're trying to wait for as much as we can so that we can, have the one house. So I apologize if we're going to start a bit late. By say 4:06, we should start. We just want to ensure that, we have a huge amount of people in the house before we start. So I apologize if we're starting late. I'm sorry. Okay. I don't know if anybody heard that.
Yeah, we can hear you for sure.
Yeah, we do. We heard you.
All right, thank you.
So everybody here, they are aspiring to come to Canada for higher education, or they are still contemplating whether they want to come to Canada or other countries?
This is actually muted, so let me. I actually muted them so we can, hear ourselves better. Did you get that, Grace?
Your voice is breaking most of the time, so I'm sorry I didn't get that one. I'm sorry.
I said most of them so that we can have an amicable webinar. So would you mind that I unmute everybody?
Yeah, sure. You know what I would like to do?
Okay.
A short presentation to show, because I want to take everybody through a little bit about the college, about the programs that we offer, and the diversity that we have at our college. And I'll take them through a little bit of that. And then we will have a Q&A session for about the last 30 minutes, right? then
Okay.
we can have anybody ask their questions, because as I go through the slides, some of the questions might be answered as we go further, or they might just have questions, right?
Okay.
So we'll do a session at the end.
Okay, so what I was thinking is, while you're doing your slide, we mute everybody, and then when it's time for the Q&A, then...
Yes, I think that would be great. Tanola, if you can give me a screen sharing permission, I can share my screen. Hi there. Oh, I think we lost Tanola. Tanola, if you can hear me, I would appreciate if you can give me the screen sharing permission.
Hi Grace.
Hi. I think we lost Tanola.
Hi Grace.
Hi.
So I got my offer letter from Centennial like early this month, and I'm basically just coming from the bank to pay my deposit. I just got back from the bank like 5 minutes ago. Literally.
Oh, that's awesome. I think that's good. Yes. And I'm really happy that you did that, because are you from Nigeria, if I may ask?
Yeah.
Right. The visa
I'm from Nigeria. Yeah.
Time could be slightly long. I'm sure you're aware, right?
Yeah, but I'm for the my application currently is for the September intake.
Yes,
September
I
7th.
Understand. So the visa application.
So I don't know if I could meet up. I don't know if I could make up with the visa application. I don't know how long it will take.
It can take easily from 3 to 6 months, unfortunately.
Wow.
That's the reason, even for September 2021 intake.
Wow.
I don't want to discourage you, but we might be on the later side. So you want to hurry up, okay?
Yeah. So I'm waiting on my offer letter now, just to take to the embassy. That's all I'm waiting now.
Right.
That's all that is holding me back now.
What you can do is you can ask either Tanola or someone from Maple to send me the deposit receipt, and then
okay.
I will have them. Yeah, I will have them process it, because usually, depending on the bank processing time, it can take a couple of days for the funds to come to your student account. Is Tanola there?
Yes, I am, Grace. I think we can start now.
Yeah, can you give me the screen sharing option?
Yes, I have done that already.
Oh, perfect. I got it. There you go. So Idris, I think, oh, hold on, sorry. Idris, I think that's great. So we'll talk more at the end of the session, all right?
All right, no problem. Thank you, no problem.
Great. Okay, welcome everybody. Thank you so much for taking the time out to come and attend our small webinar session. I know most of you are still contemplating or deciding what course to take, what country to go, or what you know, how to go about the whole process of studying, especially during COVID. So I'm hoping this might just give you an insight of what Centennial has to offer and what are the programs that we have in place for you, especially an online, we call it a hybrid program. So you do partial online until the college opens, and then you eventually come and study in class if Canadian government opens up before you finish your course, okay? Now, I want to show you guys a little bit about the diversity in our class. The very fact, well, I'm not sure if this is as relevant at this point in time because you will not be in person in class for some time until the pandemic is controlled, right? Even then, in your online class, what you can expect is a huge diaspora of international students coming from across 154 countries. And we have roughly about more than 15,000 international students every year. Also, we have 11 international offices as we grow as an institution and we become more, our brand becomes more visible in terms of a premier international education provider. We have started opening 11 offices internationally to cater to students' requirements and needs. So right now we're present in China, Vietnam, South Korea, and India. India is also a major market for our students. Mexico, Panama. The latest that we open is Philippines. And we are definitely looking at an option of having an international office in either in Nigeria or in Ghana. But this is still on paper, but we'll try and materialize it as soon as possible so that we can give you better support, not only for our partners, but also for our prospective students. Now, Centennial has 7 School of Excellence, right? So we provide School of Advancement, the Business School, the Communication, so which is the Creativity School, and we have Community and Health Science. We also have Engineering. Engineering is a huge and strong program that Centennial has to offer. We have one of the best aerospace studying environment for students. We also have Hospitality, Tourism, and Culinary Arts, and School of Transportation. The programs at Centennial, we promote experiential learning with laboratory instructions, co-op education, and industry work experience. So with 5 campuses and 7 specialized academic schools, Centennial offers over 160 diploma, advanced diploma, degree, graduate certificate programs. We also have English learning language, but I don't think this is relevant for Africa because 22 countries that I am handling, which we call the English speaking Africa, is an English speaking country. So I don't think this is relevant for you. Moving on to next, I want to quickly show you our campus, okay? Now, because of the sheer size of programs that we offer, we cannot contain all the programs in one campus, and also to break it down and to specialize teaching and learning for students. We opened 5 different programs within Toronto. The first one is the head office, if I may say so, is Progress Campus, which you see in the middle. And This campus houses the business school, hospitality, tourism, culinary arts, and few selected engineering and applied sciences. Ashton B, the one that you see on your left, top left, is a home to the School of Transportation and selected School of Advanced programs. The one below, Story Arts Center, is a home to the School of Communication, Media, Arts and Design. And the one you see on the extreme right on top, that's the Morningside campus. It's home to Community Studies, Health, and we also teach few engineering programs out of that. What you see here below, let me take you to the next slide. This is a Bombardier Aerospace location, which is in Downsview campus. It is the Center for Aerospace and Aviation. Now, this was opened in January 2019, and we partnered. This program is in partnership with Bombardier Aerospace. I'm sure you guys have heard of it, and EF Aerospace and Transport Canada. Okay. Now, going to the kind of student experience, I'm sure many of you have this, wants to know, what is it like to be an international student at Centennial? Or what will be my expectations? If I take, I'm sure many of you wants to know about the teaching, the faculty that we have, the campus environment, the career service that we provide, so on and so forth. If you can see on your left, this is students poll, right? We take survey and we outsource it to the third party so that it is not biased. And these are the results that we receive straight from our students. They rate our faculty expertise as 91%. Campus environment, it is a friendly environment with over 154 nationalities studying in all the campus put together. We have a very strong laboratory because we give emphasis on practical learning, much more than theoretical, because as a public college, our goal or our motto is to make sure that all our students who comes and studies with us, by the time they leave, even if it is after a year of diploma or a 2 year of graduate or advanced diploma, they should be able to find a job. And that is our goal and our purpose. And the programs are constructed in such a way that students are job ready. 96% of our students, they graduate successfully. And the rest sometimes because some students find it difficult to cope with studies, or they have homesick, physical weakness, 4% tend to drop, but otherwise we have a successful rate of graduate completion of 96%. There is an immense importance given to security of students. And we also continually make sure that we don't have racism. Students are sensitized, faculties are well-rounded, staffs are also very sensitive towards the need of the students, regardless of where they come from. And securities are provided round the clock to all our students, and your requests and your complaints are taken seriously. And our SAGE, which is our International Student Expertise Team, who gives support to visa extension or student support in case anybody is struggling with mental health, in case anybody is struggling with finding a part-time job, anything to do with or official documents. We give them as much support as they need, as much as we can. So overall, we have 96% engaged students, which I think is really, really high. We are one of the best performing college in and around Ontario, especially when it comes to student satisfaction, not only in terms of program, but also overall well-being. As you can see, 92% international student graduate rate in Centennial in the year 2018. Now, I think many of you may be interested to know our industry partners, because ultimately the goal of coming and studying and having an international exposure, an international diploma or a degree, is for you to be able to fit into the society and start contributing as you take up your job. For those of you who plan not to go back to your home countries, right? Even if you do plan to go back to your home countries, you can take experience and take this experience and then implement it to wherever you're going. So we have about 800 program advisory committees. Now, what this program advisory committees does is they give us your expert knowledge in each industry that they lead. And our course are inducted and induced according to the environment or to the work culture that is required. So each year, our programs are assessed, checked, and make sure that it is relevant to the current market. So the program advisory committee, what they do is they evaluate the effectiveness of the college programs and identify the future trend, changes in industry, ensure program relevancy. So this prepares our student for the career in the future. And most of our students, they have the opportunity because of our partnership, extensive partnership that we have with the industry. They have the opportunity to work with one of the best and one of the biggest corporations in Canada. Going next. Now, these are some of the program highlights that we have. Let's start with business school. We have about 7 business programs that we offer, which are very popular with students. We do have more. I want you to go to our website if you're looking at another program which you don't find it here. We have an extensive program, but these are some of the most popular ones for international students, right? We have project management, which I think is very popular with some of our students from Africa. Supply chain is popular too. And some of the communication media programs that we have who are into creative learning, who have a creative bent of mind. These are some of the programs that you can look at. For those of you who loves to run your own restaurant, cafes, or who have a future plan of opening a hotel, or who wants to support your parents with your family business in food, we have one of the best food and tourism studies program and hospitality. We have, I will show you as we go further. I'll show you in the next few slides some of the facilities that we have for food and tourism. If you see this picture here, this is a live restaurant where staff can go and eat, students can go and eat, people from outside, they come and then they indulge in the food that is cooked by our students, served by our students, and managed by our students. So everything that we do is very hands-on. We also have event centers, which is managed and run by our students. We also have a cafe, again, managed and run by our students. For those of you who are more into tinkering, you know, screws and working with hard metals, or who are interested in computer and technology, we have one of the best facilities for engineering and applied sciences. Biotechnology is one of a very popular program with our students from Africa. Cybersecurity, few of them mechanical engineering. We also have a lot of interest in biomedical engineering technology from our students from Africa. it is not, our engineering program is not limited to this. For those of you who are looking for other program apart from this, you can always go and visit our website. You may be able to find more information that you need. Now, how do you go and find information? Some of the programs, if you want to know if you are eligible, okay, you can go to our website, centennialcollege.ca. It gives you, our website is very extensive and very user-friendly. The moment you type in the program that you want to study, on the left-hand side, you will see the academic requirements, how to apply. Well, you don't have to worry about how to apply because Maple will be assisting you. You also can see the tuition fees and everything that you need to know about this program and the potential employment opportunities. So I encourage all of you to go and play around with the website, do a little bit of research before you sign up for any program. One of the examples are, once you go and check and type the program that you want, it will give you exactly how many, the length of the program, the level of the program, what credential are you getting, which intake do you have. It's, if you see here, some of the programs that are on our website may not be available for international students. It will clearly show here, as shown below. If it is not for a international student, it will say unavailable. Okay. Now, for students who may be confused of the levels of programs that we have in Centennial, we have 3 different levels of program. One is post-secondary program, fast-track program, and graduate program. As you can see here, the difference for post-secondary program, this is mainly for students who completed your high school, and your transcript, your high school transcript is a mandate. Fast track, to put it briefly, this is mostly preferred by students who have finished their degree or their diploma, or if you have a work experience that can compensate for your diploma or your degree. For example, if you have completed your 4 years of bachelor degree and you want to come and do your fast track, what it does is, instead of having to do a complete 2-year program or a 4-year program, it will take the credit of what you have completed earlier, and you will be able to continue and transfer that into a fast track program. And our graduate certificate program and our fast track program is quite similar, but students who finish the bachelor's do prefer graduate certificate, which is usually a 1-year program. Now, why do students choose fast track program? Because it is shorter, especially for students who are more mature and they want to get onto finding a job as soon as possible after they acquire the required knowledge, education knowledge for that particular expertise or that field. It connects you to the industry. It's more hands-on with traditional research focused. It also, fast track also leads to a master or a PhD, so you can use it as a bridging course, because sometimes it's difficult to get into a master program directly from international countries because of credit. And there you go, block transfer of credits of your previous education. Complete a 3-year advanced diploma program in 2 years. Program starts in the 3rd semester. So applicant must be reviewed and approved. Now for this, all the programs that are applied for fast track has to be reviewed, and sometimes they are interviewed by our program coordinator to make sure that the students are eligible and the students are ready. The benefit is you can obtain Canadian work experience with the field placement or a co-op. You become job ready in a shorter time. Once you finish your fast track, you're eligible for a 3-year Canadian postgraduate work permit that allows you to find a job in your field And then eventually, if everything works out, and then you get the job that you want and you have that experience, you can eventually apply for a permanent residence in Canada. Well, that also depends on the IRCC and the policy at that point in time. But otherwise, that's the usual route that students take. And you are awarded an Ontario College Advanced Diploma. Now, for a graduate certificate program, it is very similar, like I said, to Fast Track, but this leads to a 40 master degree pathway. And Centennial has an extensive pathway programs. Oh, before I get there, Centennial offer 2 degree program, one in information technology and one in public relations management. So for some of you who just finished your high school and looking at a bachelor degree, and if these 2 are of your interest, then you can apply for a bachelor degree program. Now, as you can see on this slide, there are 1,951 pathways through the programs that we offer, right? Centennial is known for its record of exemplary teaching, innovative program, and extensive partnership building. Centennial has 88 partners institutions and 1,951 outbound pathways, like you can see here, comprises of over 313 degrees. And Centennial usually offers 2-year degree program. And the third year and the 4th year, depending on whether it's a 3-year program or a 4-year program, you can take that as a joint degree program with University of Toronto or Ryerson University, which is also located in Toronto. Some of the pathways that we offer. If you are doing a commerce program, 3 years advanced diploma program with Centennial, you can transfer as a Bachelor of Commerce to Ryerson University. And here, I think they're quite self-explanatory. We also have partnership with York University, Nipissing University, and Universidad de Navarra, which is located in Spain. Also, we have partnered university in Switzerland. So for those of you who wants to come to Canada, study for 2 years, and then eventually transfer your program to Switzerland or to Europe or Spain. Because if learning culture or meeting people from different countries is something that you like, right? You don't have to get stuck in one country to finish your program. We do have partnership with different countries, especially in the field of hospitality and hotel. Switzerland is known as the land of hospitality because that's where hospitality was born. You can also browse the website to find more information about the pathway. Should you have any doubts, you should be able to get a lot of information from our website. Okay, for students who are looking at a residential place in Canada, at Centennial, and who wants to stay in campus and not find a residence outside, we have a beautiful student residence. Okay, now, like I said earlier, I'm going to show you. If you see my cursor, the restaurant here is live for public and also for Centennial staff and student. This is where the restaurant is. You see here local, that's the cafe, which is located here, all run and managed by the student. This entire stretch, it's over 2,000 square feet. This is the kitchen, the training area where students cook, they bake, they learn. It's dedicated for hospitality and kitchen. And on the first floor here is the event center. So anytime there is a conference, there is a seminar, and there is hospitality service needed. Students manage and take care of all the requirements and the needs. And the rest from the second floor to the top, this is student residence. We call it Centennial Place. These are some of the facilities that you can find inside student Centennial Place. You have twin sharing, you have 3 sharing, you also have 4 people sharing, depending on the budget and depending on your preference of privacy. You can opt for those places. Some students like to live with friends, more like a dorm system. So they pick the ones that have more sharing, and they can also save a lot of money in the process. This is the common area where student comes and learn. They can watch TV, they can relax, they have their own kitchen. They also have their own supermarket within, and there is a gym. There is also a PlayStation for students to just unwind and relax. Okay, so we come to one of the most important part of how do we get started. Now, it's 9, well, 9 seems a lot, but it is pretty simple. 1, you make an application, right? You like the program, you're convinced, okay, Centennial is where I want to go. Canada is the country I want to be, and I see my future there, or I want to gain education and come back, whatever the reason might be. You've decided. So you go to Maple, they make an application for you. We review the document. Make sure that you see the academic requirements, okay, before you make an application, so that you make an application for the program that you are eligible. So once everything is done and you meet the eligibility criteria, then we send you the deposit letter. Well, when you make an application, you send your documents along, of course, for review, and we issue a deposit letter. Now, this deposit letter is for you for us to let you know that you qualify for this program, and if you're interested, you need to save your seat, because we have limited seats and we have unlimited applications that we receive globally. And if you don't want to defer your intake, we give students 2 weeks from the day they receive the deposit letter to make the payment, so that we can issue them a letter of acceptance once the fund is reflecting on the student's account. With the letter of acceptance, you will be able to apply for your study permit. And one study permit can be tricky because it can take any time between 3 months to 6 months, especially now during COVID, because there's a lot of backlog on the website. If you're applying for September 21 on IRCC website, it clearly states application made after May 15. The immigration officers will do their best to be able to process it so that they can attend September intake, but you're not certain, okay? So my recommendation is, if you're looking to apply, it's best to apply for January intake now, so that you have enough time to process everything and without stress. Once you get your study permit, you register, then you attend the orientation, and then you attend the class. So it's quite simple process. I think we are kind of overshooting time. I think Maple have this requirement for each program, for post-secondary, for fast track and graduate. So I think they should be able to tell you the requirement. Okay, I'll skip this slides. But make sure that all the applications that comes in, they come in one PDF file for easy reference. Just so you know, because you belong to an English-speaking Africa region, you do not have to provide English proficiency test unless you are applying to these 4 exception programs. Okay, that said, there are 5 countries, though they come under English-speaking Africa, there are 5 countries that needs to provide IELTS or English proficiency test. They are Eritrea, Ethiopia, Somalia, Sudan, and Swaziland. So if you belong to this one of these 5 countries, you will have to provide English proficiency test. Otherwise, you do not have to. These are some of the very popular programs that we usually receive, or we see our African students expressing their interest for some of these programs. And if you're looking at, having someone in your class, or you want to be more comfortable with someone around you, these are usually what the programs that they take. And our students from Africa, they do really, really well. They are well educated, they are informed, they are self-aware, and we're very proud of our students. They do very well, not only academically, but also socially. For visa processing time, please go to IRCC website. You can check the duration of time that it will take for that particular region. Based on that, you can decide which intake that you want to go through. IRCC website is very, very helpful. It's very user-friendly, very informative. The fees in general for a diploma is roughly about $16,500 for 2 semesters, which is roughly $8,000 per semester. Compared to other countries, it is very reasonable. That's also another reason why students are very inclined towards coming to Canada, and what they receive and the benefit that they get once they finish the course, including a stay back option to work, is a great attraction for international students. Okay, for degree, it is slightly more expensive, but again, it is still much more economical than other countries. You have different payment options. If you use the bank-to-bank option, you will be charged $50 service charge by the bank. So I recommend you use the third-party service, and they're very, very helpful and supportive. Now, refund policy. I think it's important for you to know that once you make your decision and you make the deposit and then you confirm your seat, unless your visa is denied, refund will not be made. It's because that seat has already, you are taking away, or you are taking a space of one student whom we have already declined. And that's the reason, before you make a decision, please make sure that you think through. And if your visa is denied, God forbid, if it is, then you can defer your intake, or your funds will be returned. But because of COVID, sometimes your visa takes longer, you apply later. So if you're finishing your program in 4 months and you've already completed 3 months of your course, online course, and your visa is still in process and it's declined, then it's a case to case. We will have to review it case to case basis, right? Now, for those of you who, well, in the past, we have experienced students coming on Centennial offer letter. They are granted a study permit based on Centennial offer letter. They come here and then immediately they try and transfer, not only for Centennial, but across Canada. So what the government is doing now is, once you're given a study permit for a particular college, you will not be able to change until and unless you reapply for your study permit. So they have made the rules much more organized so that student makes a very informed decision before they do that. And that they will not be able to jump from one college to another as frequently as they used to do, all right? These are some of the partner colleges. Okay, I think this is not relevant for students, so no point. We also have a campus, a huge campus in Canada. So what I'm trying to show you with this is Centennial is a very established global institution, right? We don't have a presence not only in Canada, but also in Asia. And we have achieved this status by the education quality that we provided over many, many years. And we're one of the biggest in Ontario. Should you want to know more, or as you are planning your studies in Canada, you can connect with us at Facebook. We also have Twitter account, we have Instagram account. You can send questions. We have a very strong social media team who will answer to your questions, who will constantly send promotion advertisement for you to keep you posted on the latest information that we have on Centennial. Okay. So that's the end of my, my slide. I hope it was helpful and insightful for some of you who have queries. So I'm open to question and answers for those of you who might have. Anybody who have questions, please feel free to ask. Don't feel shy, because it's always good to make an informed decision rather than shying away, right? There is no age barrier as per the college, but again, it depends on the program you're studying. Usually, the age barrier comes more for study permit. Now, the immigration officer, if someone is 40 or if someone is 50 and is applying for a one-year diploma, the immigration officer will definitely question the intention of that student. So while Centennial and Canada immigration do not have any age barrier, they will definitely weigh the intent. We don't do it as a college, but immigration does, from our past experience. Okay, for Ugochukwu, you ask, how can I apply without application fee, right? I have good news for you. Centennial do not charge application fee. Our applications are free of cost, because that's also one reason why I am proud to work for Centennial. We are not a business institution. We are an education institution, and the management and the leaders, they believe that every student have the right to be able to apply. Whether they get it or not is a different story, but they should have the right to apply, and especially when they're already paying international students, student fee, which they should not be charged. So it is free of cost. Okay. Someone is asking, can I be sponsored by Centennial College? Okay, we are an education institution and not, well, we need to function, right? Because we are not charity. We need to function because there are staffs to be paid. There are a lot of other expenses to run the infrastructure. So no, we don't provide sponsorship. However, we do have merit scholarship for students who are deserving, but this is only from the second year. Okay. For new students, we want to make sure that student who comes to study, they are financially sound, because we don't want finance to be the reason for you to have a mental breakdown or stress and not able to focus on work. Not able to focus on your studies, because sometimes you may or may not get your part-time job as and when you want. So we want to make sure that you are financially sound. And to be honest, more than Centennial, the immigration officer will make sure that you are financially sound before they grant your study permit, right? So no, we don't provide sponsorship for the first year student, but from second year, there is merit sponsorship for deserving students. But that depends how much. It changes from year to year. I want to ask what the price range is like for an on-campus hostel. Okay, there is, I encourage you to go online on our website. There are different categories, okay? Twin sharing, 3 sharing, 4 sharing, or a dorm. So the price will vary, but I think if I'm not mistaken, it should start somewhere from $800 per month. And I'm not sure if they are paid bi-weekly, if they're charged bi-weekly, but usually the lowest should start from about 800 to 1,000. Is there any possibility of scholarship after the second year? Yes, like I said, we offer merit scholarship. In fact, during COVID, we also offered 15,000 COVID scholarship for students who are affected by it. So Centennial has a heart of, as an institution, it has a heart, and that's what I really, really appreciate about the institution. We do as much as we can to support our students, okay? And there are also some financial support that we give for students who really need, but of course they need to pay it back. So there are different systems that are organized and put in place to support our students. But of course, that will be your last resort. We don't, even if there is a support system, there's a lot of stress that a student goes through when they are financially challenged right from the beginning. So we want to make sure that you have enough before you come so that you can focus on your primary goal, which is education. Okay, does applying through Maple increase our chances of getting in? Now, Centennial is not biased to any of our partners. All our partners are equal and all our students are the same. We have eligibility criteria, which you can find on the website. If you meet the eligibility criteria, regardless of where you come from, we will consider your application if there are availability of seats for that particular intake. But I think what's more important question that you need to ask is your chances of getting a study permit higher if you make your visa application through Maple? So you need to speak to them because Centennial do not get involved in study permit because each student is different, each profile is different. So your agent should be able to help you more with that. Okay. Another person asked, how do I apply without application fee? I think I've already answered that. You don't need any link to make an application. You can just speak to Maple and they will be able to make the application for you. Or you can even go to the website. There is email ID or there is a link that will give you more information on how you can make your application. Are work placements guaranteed after graduation? To be honest, in life, there is no guarantee, including your own life, right? So I don't like to use the word guarantee, but if your course says that this program with co-op, that means co-op is more like a field placement, okay? So it is part of your education. You have to do it. So Centennial will provide you that co-op because it is part of your education. If it says so-and-so 3 semesters academic and 1 semester internship, then of course Centennial will provide that internship for you. Now, will you be paid or not paid for that internship and that co-op? It really depends. Sometimes student takes a co-op opportunity, though they're not paid, because they see a better future doing that program or doing that internship. Okay, so if it is part of your program, yes, you will get it. But if it is not part of your program, we train you to be eligible to get and be self-qualified and job ready. And Centennial gives a lot of support. I don't use the word guarantee, but we give a lot of support, and there are a lot of systems in place to make sure that we provide the right platform for students and connect them with the industry to make sure that everybody is placed. So what's next? Good evening. I already applied to Centennial and been admitted, but I would like to defer my admission to January. Should I make the deposit payment? Yes. If you want to defer your intake also, you need to, if you have made an application through Maple, let them know and they will intimate us. Do it as soon as possible. And you need to make your deposit, because until and unless you make your deposit, your seats will not be guaranteed. Okay? So we are already processing applications for May 2022. So seats are also running out for Jan. So the sooner you do, the higher chances for you to be able to get a seat. Is it possible to have a little side job while studying? Yes, of course. As a policy, Canadian government allows students to work part-time for 20 hours. So you can do any side jobs that you want while you're studying, as long as you can manage. But you need to be aware that if you are too focused on your side job or in your part-time job and not focused on your education, if you do not get the right grades at the end, when you want to extend your study permit, the immigration officer may not grant you. So always make sure that you're focusing on studies and getting good grades. But the policy allows you to work 20 hours part-time. Yes. If you want to schedule a meeting with me, just talk to Tanola or Obi and let them know when are you available. I'll check my schedule. If you are available, then yeah, sure, we can chat. That's not a problem. Okay. I graduated with a 3rd class in 1st degree. I'd like to know if there's any chance I can get a course to study despite my CGPA. Okay. I think, Tanola, if you can please help this student through the program that they are interested, because each program has different eligibility criteria. So since you don't mention which program you're looking at and what program you have completed, it will be hard for me to assess. But if you can speak to Tanola, she can take you through the eligibility criteria for each program. And there might be some program that fits your CGPA. Okay. I got my admission letter February this year. I'm making deposit this June. Is it better for me to defer because of the long? Well, this is for Demola. I'll let you decide what you think is best for you. Now, before you do that, I want you to go to IRCC website and see how long does it take. And like I said, it's always better for you to have enough time in hand so that you have enough time to process your documents for your study permit. The challenge really here is not your offer letter. It is the study permit. So make sure that you arrange your documents in such a way that it is impressive, everything is clean, straightforward, that will impress the immigration officer. And when you do things in a haste or in a rush, sometimes you tend to miss certain documents that might make a difference, right? And when it comes to study permit documents, I think Maple may be more efficient to support you. If you're looking at a January intake, I'll let you decide. Speak to them first, and they'll tell you your study permit document situation, and they'll guide you. Okay?
Sorry, hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Are you Obi?
Okay. Yes, good afternoon, everyone. Sorry, I'm just joining in. I had my assistant replace me earlier on.
No worries.
I just wanted to add something for those that are still looking at, processing their study permits. It is possible to actually begin that this year and get a response back, and that is through a new program called the NSE program. Okay, so that is the Nigerian Student Express Entry. So with this program, as a Nigerian student, you're going to be able to get a response back within 20 days. And that is if you actually do the IELTS. Okay, so if you're still interested in traveling to Canada this year, we could make that possible, right? Because it's like I said, it takes about 20 days for you to get a response back. So I just thought I'll quickly say that so that people here could be aware and begin their application processing.
Yeah, that's awesome. See, there are some things that are very particular to that country when it comes to visa and study permit. So I always encourage you to speak to them, and they will be able to give you more insight of what you can do, right? Here is, okay. Do we need WES evaluation to be able to apply? No, to be able to apply for a program at Centennial, we do not need WES evaluation, but we have a team of admissions officer. They will evaluate, but their evaluation will be based on the eligibility criteria that is on our website. So if you're sending us an application that qualifies as per the eligibility criteria already mentioned, there are very less chances that we will reject your application, okay? But you do not need WES application. I think WES is more to do with other visa, like permanent residence or something, if I'm not mistaken. When I say your agent, I would mean Maple, right? Maple would be your agent, not your program advisor. Can someone with 10 years academic space apply for a degree? This is for Isaiah. Well, again, to be honest, it depends. It depends on your age. It depends on what program you're applying. It depends on what you have done in the past. What have you done during that 10 years of gap? Can it compensate for, can your work experience compensate for what you're applying? So there are a lot of parameters that needs to be considered. I think OB and team can look at those and try and match if this is something that, or if the program that you apply for match the background that you have. So feel free to reach out to them. They should be able to guide you.
Yeah, sorry, regarding the 10 years academic gap. So normally it's best if you are involved with something relating to what you want to study. So if, for example, you are trying to apply for like a business degree, for example, or like a is an MBA, for example, you should be involved with something business related. You get what I'm trying to say? So depending on what path or what line of academics you're trying to apply for, then what you're going to be doing, so what's like the work you're doing should kind of correlate to that particular field. I hope that makes sense. Idris,
I
hope
think
that
things like
to
this
Idris.
needs proper, things like this needs proper
Yeah.
assessment. Everything has to be streamlined, because the hurdle is not only getting an offer, it is also getting your study permit. So everything has to be in tandem, in sync. What if I don't have the IELTS? Like I mentioned, if you are one of the English-speaking countries, apart from those 5 exceptions, you don't need an IELTS, provided you meet the English requirement on the eligibility criteria. But if you do not meet the eligibility criteria listed on Centennial website, yes, you will have to apply for English proficiency test. Okay. If you have 10 okay. If you have 10 years work academic space, will you be accepted into Centennial College? Well, again, to repeat myself, it depends on what program you're applying. It depends on what work you have been doing, how coherent your past education, your job, and what you're looking in the future to study is, right? So speak to OBN team. They should be able to assist you with this. I think someone also needs Maple contact number. I think they will mention it on the chat sometime for you guys to take it. Does Centennial College have a soccer team? I don't think we have a soccer team, but we have a very strong sports center. Okay. We have a strong basketball team. We have a strong hockey team. Maybe you can come and learn a new game, new sports. I don't know, but we have an entire building allocated for students to not only do fitness training, but also represent Centennial at a national level and compete in sports. And we use sports not only to compete and excel, but we also use sports to raise funds, volunteers, and work for a cause in the community, if that is something that you like. Okay, what are the fee range at Centennial College and what are the possibilities of paying in installment? The fee range I've shown you during the presentation. So for diploma, it is roughly around 16,500 for 2 semesters, which means 1 year, right? And for bachelor, it is roughly about 21,000, which is 2 semesters again, 1 year. And the payment is like this. You can make a payment of 26,050 at first, which is your deposit for you to accept your seat, to accept the letter and deposit, reserve your seat. That's 2650. So let's say that's the first installment. And then once you accept, once the letter of acceptance is done, I think 2 or 3 months before the college starts, you will have to pay your fee. So you can pay the first semester fee first. So let's say that's your second installment. That before you begin your second semester, then you can pay the second semester fee. So technically that 16,000, approximate 16,000 plus can be split into 3 payments. First you deposit, then your first semester fee, and then your second semester fee. The 26,050 is part of your first semester fee. The balance you get to pay before or after applying your study permit. Does one have to apply through agent to get admission? No, to be honest, you don't have to. But if you need support, if you need assistance, if you need queries, our partners, our agents will be able to give you more one-to-one support, because at Centennial, we receive over, right now we have about 700 applications sitting, which are still there for reviewing. So by the time we get to your question, to your queries, it can take some time. So if you want a faster service, you can take the support of our partners. But you don't have to apply to Centennial through agent to be able to get an application. Okay, I think that's the end of the question. Let's open last 5 minutes before, or maybe the last 2 questions, or the next 5 minutes, whichever is sooner or more convenient. Otherwise, I'm more or less done. I want to thank each one of you for your time. For those of you who wants to meet me or talk to me, you can reach out to OB and team. I can connect with them. We can schedule time as per our convenience if that is something that will help you. But yeah, reach out to them and then we can always connect. I hope that's okay, OB.
Yes, that's fine. Let me can hear me.
Yeah, I would appreciate if all communication is routed through them. So because they may, it's easier that way, right? And it's more streamlined.
Yeah. So I just saw a question from Demola.
Yeah, I just saw that. Can I ask my sister to make payments for me who resides in Canada? Definitely you can. In fact, if you have someone in Canada, you know, it's faster, it's easier. Sure, because most of the time what I've noticed is when you make a payment from international countries, especially from Africa, it tends to take a few days for the funds to reach your account, your Centennial student account, which can be sometimes a week. So if you have someone in Canada, I think that's great, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Over to you, Obi. I think I'm good. Thank you.
That's fine. So I'd just like to say thank you so much, Grace, for joining us for this session.
Yes, thank you for organizing this. I think it was quite meaningful and fruitful, and I hope the students who have joined us, they find it insightful and informative, and you can take it on from here, Obi.
Yeah. So to everyone that's still here with us, thanks for joining in. And I'm going to be emailing you guys later on, most likely tomorrow, just to kind of like provide you with more information and, you know, for the next steps for your whole academical journey in Canada. But just so you know, we have a couple of branches all across the country. We have 2 offices here in Lagos. We have an office in Abuja. We have an office in Port Harcourt. Right, so if you actually want to visit us in-house in our offices, please do come in. We're always happy to see new faces, right, and begin the processes, right, because the truth is the best time to begin the applications is right now. And you do not want to wait till last minute to start the processing, because you might have to, you know, get delayed, and no one really wants that. So let's all try and, you know, take the necessary steps in beginning the processing. We're always here to help you guys. Even if for some reason, I don't know, something, you want a different program, we'd always still reach out to Centennial to know if similar programs are available. And if it's not available, then maybe check out for other options for you as well. But the truth is, I'm sure there's a place for you in Canada, right? And thanks again for joining in. And we can't wait to, of course, speak to you guys. So there's a question there. What is your Instagram handle? So our Instagram handle is Maple Education. I'm just gonna type that in the chat. Education, right? So you can check us out on Instagram. Sorry, let me make that to everyone. Let me just send that to everyone. All right, so you can check us out on social media, follow the page, like us, because we always put out engaging content every single day to further provide information to you guys. So check us out there, send us emails, call us if you need to call us, come to the offices. We always recommend you come to the office, despite the fact that we're going through a pandemic, but still we do observe social distancing and, you know, taking the necessary precautions. So come with your mask, and we have a sanitizer, a system at the front gate where you could get yourself all cleaned up and make sure you're not coming in with any viruses, right? But we're always happy to see your faces and help you guys begin the application process. Okay, so I believe that would be everything from myself and Grace. Thank you everyone for joining in, and I believe the next step will be us helping you guys with the application processing. Okay, so thank you everyone, and see you later.
Thank you everyone, good luck.